A consortium of students from Penn State have been exposed, busted, arrested for trapping like Pablo Escobar. Okay, they thought they were Tariq from Power. Tariq St. Patrick, ghost raising Canaan. I don't know who these white boys thought they were, but it was lit. They had a cocaine ring. El Chapo, Penn State. And yeah, black people have caught onto it, and some of the reporting is absolutely hilarious.
Lock Penn State down. Yeah, Agostino Apatello and Thomas Robinson was acting like Big Meech and damn Pablo Escobar.
What? Not Big
They going
Beach.
from New York to Penn State selling massive amounts of drugs to your damn students. Go get your kid because they sniffing powder. Look,
I wonder who the plug was. I wonder who the plug was.
lock it down. Look, and it's the damn fraternities. They got the kids who's damn pledging, bagging up the coke
What?
so they can go out here and deal it to the students.
Oh my God.
Lord, look, they packaging the drugs. As a part of your damn pledge or whatever they do in the fraternity, your job is to bag the coke.
I remember, sorry, story time, please. I remember being in university first year. I started university quite late. They tried to get me to do some, I don't know what to call it. What you were just saying, fraternity, but on the basketball team. I said, brother, I'm 20 years old. I'm older than you. You think you're gonna what? Make me run around? They were making the guys run around naked or some shit. I said, bro, what the fuck do you think this is? You're 19, talking about telling me I'm going run around. Shut up, man. Ain't that bullshit.
Ain't that some shit? You paying for your kid all that money for them to be a bagger, to be a packager of illegal drugs. Look, it was 14 defendants. Let me tell you, somebody out that 14 gonna snitch. One thing about white people they're gonna do, especially kids, you telling on somebody. And guess what? You getting out of this. Yeah, so Agostino Apatello and Thomas Robinson, your ass is going down. Unless you got some high power lawyers, which I'm pretty sure you do. This Abatula, I already know. I know you got some high power. I could just, by your last name, I know you the head honcho. So look, lock it down, Penn State. Lock it down. Parents, go get your damn kids, because they're over there.
Maybe if they give the plug up, maybe, you know, I don't know.
They had the pledges moving coke as part of a hazing ritual. Let's get into it. So 14 people, including 13 current or former Penn State students, have been charged for running a coordinated cocaine trafficking ring that involved members of Sigma Chi and Delta Upsilon. So
Sorry. It's not funny, right? What makes you think, in 2026, I'm gonna start moving cocaine? What the fuck? Oh my God. What makes you think about that? Like, you really think you're gonna get away in 2026? This ain't the 80s, man. Come, this is so stupid.
authorities say the operation was active in 2023 and 2024, and apparently they got the coke from New York and Philly and then packed it and distributed it to Penn State students. Prosecutors say some fraternity pledges were forced to cut and package the coke as part of a hazing ritual. Now, the investigation, called Operation Drugs Unlimited, began in September 2024 after police used confidential informants and controlled drug purchases. Prosecutors identified Agostino Abatiello and Thomas Robinson as the principal suppliers, and several other people face felony, conspiracy, corrupt organization, and drug-related charges. 8 additional students face misdemeanor possession and drug paraphernalia charges. Investigators say sales allegedly happened at fraternity houses, parties, and other social gatherings, and the payments are made through cash and payment apps like Cash App. Penn State has placed Delta Upsilon on an interim suspension following the charges, while Sigma Chi is not recognized by the university and operates outside of its oversight. This is Monique with the Black Belt Daily.
Here's my thing though. University is 3 to 4 years. The drug ring lasted 3 years. Did that mean they went to university and just started trapping immediately? They started trapping immediately. Damn, they weren't there for that degree. They were there for that ski. That is crazy. I can't lie. That's ridiculous.
I am perplexed, entertained, really, because for weeks we saw people get online on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, shaming and name calling and trying to demonize Black students who, God forbid, show up with a bonnet at a 7 a.m. or an 8 a.m. class. God forbid a Black student walks around campus in sweatshorts at an institution that they paid to be at. People spent weeks policing the bodies of Black students, and yet I don't hear enough people talking about this. We're talking about an entire coke ring, right, at Penn State University, my home state. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised by this, but
What?
an entire drug traffic.
Why are you not? You can't just say that. Not all of us are from America. We need to know what you mean by that. Why are you not surprised at people trapping and capping at university? Is that just like, guys in the comments, let me know. Is that what Penn State's known for? Just making it happen like that? Damn.
King ring. Students, parents, administrators, teachers participating in this drug trafficking ring.
What?
I believe it was between two fraternities that were doing this, and they were making pledges bag and process the drugs. That's where the focus should be, not whether or not students wear a do-rag or a scarf or a bonnet or sweatpants to class.
They look pretty suave to me, except for this one here. But they all look dressed really nice.
That's white people's biggest superpower, bro. I just saw that headline. Them white boys went to Penn State, and they're out here doing, you know what, moving that dope, right? And do they put their pictures as mugshots? No. They're going to put their student pictures and make them look like upright citizens. And the PR journey is already started. They were just good kids that just got caught up in a bad life. Get the fuck out my face.
Why they put the Black dude on the top? Why? Because he wasn't the main dude. The two main suspects is at the bottom. You see how the media does? I don't like that. Penn State is Taj Mahal. They selling big coke, big dope. There's a fraternity at Penn State, and they have been selling cocaine to the students. Okay? And they've been selling a lot of cocaine. They said it's like the largest coke dealer at Penn State, which, I mean, how many do you have? The fraternities during the intake process, and that means like you go through the candidacy part, you know, the hazing or whatever you go through, you got to do. They had them packaging, cutting the coke and putting it in packaging to seal. So they had a whole little power, what is that, power book too, whatever. Anyway, they had that going on at Penn State. But then they showed a picture. Look at this.
14 frat bros arrested for cocaine trafficking in Penn State. They really thought they was Tyreek and Braden off Power. So these are a few of the 14. They haven't released pictures of everyone so far, but they really had their pledges cutting up the dope at the frat houses as initiation of their organization. And I've said before that a lot of these fraternities and sororities have gang-like activities when it comes to the hazing and shit like that. Y'all keep proving what I'm saying. They in there selling dope, cutting it up for initiation. But yeah, them boys thought they was on Power.
Apparently, cocaine only looks like a drug problem when the drug dealers look a certain way. 14 people have already been arrested in connection with a cocaine ring connected to Penn State fraternities. And the only thing I want to know is, where's the media package? You know the one with the scary pictures, the reckless social media posts, the deep dive into everybody's childhood. Where's the reporter standing outside of Penn State asking what's wrong with that school? Because allegedly, they were moving more than folding tables and red Solo cups. I just don't understand how Penn State hasn't been labeled a ghetto, drug-infested college. Interesting. Because if it was an HBCU, baby, CNN would have a documentary by Thursday. And this is what I mean when I say stereotypes are really useful. They keep everybody staring at one neighborhood while somebody's running a whole pharmacy out of a frat house in another one. See, when society starts deciding what a drug dealer should look like, everybody who doesn't fit the costume gets to walk through the security checkpoint with a camouflage of privilege. So I'm watching how this story gets covered. Because I want to know, where are the pictures? Where are the concerned parents? Where's the national conversation about campus culture? Or do we only diagnose an entire community when the people are black? Because if 14 black students got arrested at an HBCU for pushing cocaine, how do you think the story would be told? Let's talk about it.
Yes, I heard the news. These thugs were recently accused of running a drug ring out of Pennsylvania State. Now, how did... Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah. Oh, these thugs were recently accused of running a drug ring out of Pennsylvania State. So how exactly did they get caught? What's the latest on this story? Let's get into it. So let's break it down. Venmo. So what had happened was apparently, allegedly, a bunch of frat bros from Pennsylvania State are accused of running a drug ring, with this guy being the ringleader. And it's now being revealed how exactly...
Is he Italian? He looks Italian. You know what I'm saying? Mafioso. That man there.
They got caught. It's because they were accepting Venmo payments for the drugs under their own names. And apparently, allegedly, according to authorities, they were told by a confidential informant that a male using the nickname T-Rob was selling large amounts of you-know-what. And this is where it gets really, really stupid. Allegedly, the drug kingpin T-Rob was accepting payments through a Venmo account with the username Tom Robinson. And you'll never guess what happened then. Authorities then found out that Tom Robinson was Thomas Robinson. And upon cracking that tricky case, they then found an address for the fraternity house at State College, Pennsylvania. And apparently, allegedly, upon his arrest, the frat bro thought that it was his fraternity brothers playing a prank on him. And what did the cops find when they searched the place? Well, you know, lots of ounces of trees and some pills and a pew-pew. And also busted along with them was a dad, apparently, who was a prominent Pittsburgh lawyer. And apparently, allegedly, the Penn State frat house was seen in TikToks hours before they busted the den. And along with the kingpin, apparently, allegedly, 13 Penn State frat bros have also been busted. Don't forget to like and follow. And what do you all think about these thugs and... Oh, sorry. These thugs. Don't forget to like and follow. And what do you all think about the Penn State frat bros in the case of the Venmo drug deals? Do you think that they're going to go straight from the frat house to the big house? Let me know down in the...
These guys don't even look like they're built for prison, man. That's the thing about crime, man. You gotta be... Subconsciously, you gotta know, you know what I'm saying, you could go to jail. And these guys don't look ready. I'll be so real. The idea of doing crime in 2026 is so stupid. But to do it like electronically? Come on, man. But let's get into the news. Let's see how the news reported it. Hope maybe they give us like some more information, some shit that we don't know. I don't know.
Two fraternities at Penn State University are at the center of a highly profitable cocaine ring, according to state prosecutors, who say the drugs were cut and packaged right there in the frat houses, sometimes by pledges. Among those charged, 13 current and former students and one student's father. More now from CBS's Michael George.
Investigators say all but one of the 14 charged were Penn State students at the time of the alleged criminal conduct. Pennsylvania's Attorney General Dave Sunday says the drug operation was run inside two fraternity houses in 2023 and 2024.
Cocaine was primarily packaged at the fraternity houses, and in fact, we found a pattern of events that showed cutting and bagging cocaine was, for some pledges, an indoctrination into the Delta Upsilon and Sigma Chi fraternities.
Authorities say the two...
Imagine thinking you're going to university for education, but you get education in trapping and capping. Flipping the bricks, whipping the bricks. That's not what you went to university for. Packaging and flipping it. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Main dealers were senior members of the fraternities.
Agostino Abatiello was at the very top of the chain. Thomas Robinson was a rung below that on the ladder.
According to the criminal complaint, the drugs were sold at parties and other college social events. One defendant is accused of buying more than 5 pounds of cocaine in a
From the
9-month
plot.
period. 6 defendants are facing felony charges. 8 others are charged with misdemeanors. Penn State says it's placing Delta Upsilon on interim suspension pending an investigation. It says Sigma Chi isn't recognized by the university.
The packaging happened at off-campus fraternity houses.
And there was one non-student charged. Paul Robinson, the father of one of the suspects. Authorities say he concealed evidence, including a safe containing drugs and cash. Tony?
Michael George, thank you. The alleged ringleader of that frat house cocaine operation at Penn State University is in police custody tonight, described by a local newspaper as a former accounting student, 24 years old, and according to witnesses to the grand jury, the largest cocaine dealer at one of the largest universities in America, making considerable amounts of money. Our Meg Oliver has the update from Central Pennsylvania.
Tony, 24-year-old Agostino Abatiello turned himself in this morning and is behind bars here at the Center County Correctional Facility. Abatiello, a former Penn State student, was arraigned on numerous felonies, including multiple counts of possession with intent to deliver cocaine. On Monday, 13 current and former Penn State students were charged, along with a parent of prominent Pittsburgh attorney Paul Robinson, who allegedly tried to conceal evidence. Prosecutors say 2 off-campus fraternities, Sigma Chi and Delta Upsilon, appeared to be hubs for the operation and allegedly used pledges to package the drugs. According to grand jury testimony, Abatiello was purchasing around 100 grams of cocaine from his source in New York every 3 to 6 weeks. In a statement, Penn State said in part, criminal activity such as this has no place at our institution. Penn State says Sigma Chi has no formal relationship to the university, and they have suspended Delta Upsilon pending an investigation. Tony?
So it says here that court records show more than 123,000 in alleged drug payments. Now, these are like only the online payments, right? You would assume or hope that they were like accepting most of their payments by cash, but you never know, right? You never know. So probably around 200K, at least 200K they've made from this drug. Is that worth it? Is that really worth it? I don't think so. I think the years that they're gonna get, I don't think it's worth it at all. According to a grand jury, Thomas Robinson, former member of Delta, blah, 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 was one of the primary drug buyers. So, okay, so he was buying from, making 6 large transactions from January to September. To be fair, in skimming through this, it doesn't feel like it was like a huge drug ring. So, maybe that and a little bit of privilege, good lawyer, some money, maybe, I have no idea. I'm not gonna guess. Maybe under 10 years? 50, maybe? I don't know. But you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comments, man. Jeez Louise. Trapping in university. Crazy.
This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone. Blowing weed, smoking the ozone. I just can't let this go. This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone.